Okay, I'm going to talk about God, the Holy Father. When I say God, the Holy Son. When I say God, the Holy Ghost. When I say God, the Holy Spirit. When I say God, the Most High, the only power, the greatest forever getting greater, perfection, the one who makes no mistakes. When I say God, I pray that He allows only Him and what He wants for Him to go through me right now, to touch anybody viewing this and experiencing this. In Jesus' name, amen. I really wanted to talk about everybody is not for you. Who's for you is who's for you, but not everybody will be for you in life. You will have experiences that are temporary, and you will have experiences that are long lasting. Um, if it's from God, it will be long lasting. Anything temporary that doesn't serve you is not from God. Anything that doesn't serve you is not from God. And that includes people, not just things, because this is a world we're living a human experience. Just because it's materialistic, when you die, you can't take the material millions, billions of dollars with you. You die alone. You were born alone. We go with God. The money didn't come with us. It's not going to go with us. So that material stuff, I mean, it make sure you cherish and you focus on things that are important. So like if it's going to help your mind and the experience that you need, whether it's school or work, to get better at what you want to do later in life, or if it's making you happy, get better at being happy. If it's making you better or stronger physically so you can protect yourself better, or work longer, eat healthier better so you can, you want to starve the flesh and feed the spirit. So focus more about God and less on yourself. You don't need the like you're not doing things. I know in the last video I was talking about selfishly, but do things that's gonna help you, so you could selfishly help you as well. In terms of like eating healthy foods, like it doesn't have to be things that you hate the flavor of, but you're like, I know it's healthy, so I gotta force myself. Try to mix it in with stuff. Like if like I don't eat a lot of meats personally, but when I start back working out and getting my diet right, I'm gonna focus on the protein powder because I like chocolate. So you're like, oh, well, that's not natural, blah blah blah. It's artificial. But if it works for me, then what? It's like a mic drop moment. If it works for me, then what? If it works for you, but everyone's like, oh, that won't work because of blah blah blah. But if it works for you, then what? You don't have to say I told you so. Your life and how you live and how you continue to let it work for you. Let God, flex and show off, and giving God the glory because He's the glorious one. God will show off through you. He's showing off everywhere. Haters, lovers, appreciators, He's showing off everywhere. If everyone's saying this won't work for you and it does work, then what? It's a rhetorical question, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Then what? Then nothing. Like you continue to be awesome, and they will continue to either be not for you, or hate somewhere else, or hate from afar, love you from afar, like fake love, pretenders, like posturing, all that fake stuff, like the smoke and mirrors, the charade, the lies, it's all wearing off. So like when you are doing and living in your purpose and being who you are every single day without no fear of anything but God, no fear of anyone but God, like you are doing what you set out to do intentionally. Like I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna do this because I want to. I'm gonna wake, I'm gonna do this because I think it's gonna be great in the long run or in the short term. This is what I felt like going to the park today. I felt like listening to this song today. I felt like going to the movies. I felt like going to dinner by myself because I haven't eaten out in a while, and there's nobody I can call right now. There's nobody, but I feel like I don't, doesn't matter if whatever, I could leave less of a tip, I could leave the same amount of tip, I could leave more of a tip. It don't matter. You do what you want to do when you want to do it. You don't need everybody all the time. Sometimes it's great to be isolated. Sometimes it's not great to be isolated. but not everybody is for you. Everyone's going to come at different times for different reasons. If you feel like there are people that you don't like in your life right now, or you don't want to be around you in your life right now, there's a lot of ways to go about it. You try, I challenge you guys to try for the next month. No, it's a long time. 7 days. I like the number 7. To be, to tell no lies when it comes to um, yourself and doing and explaining yourself. So if, say, sometimes you might lie about why you don't want to hang out with someone, be honest. You don't have to necessarily cover up or anything, but if you're like, oh, let's go hang out, let's go do this, let's do that. No, I don't want to. Why, you got this again, or what's the reason? Well, the reason I don't want to is I think it would be more enjoyable if I stay home and do this, or if I go out and do this thing instead of your thing. The reason I don't want to go is because I think it would be more enjoyable if I open my Bible and read. And if they start clowning you on whatever, whether it's play Pokemon by yourself, or stay home on the video game, or, exercise, or pray to God on both knees, like sing a song, I want to practice this. You still, this is them. You still doing that? You still doing? Why you think that? You trying to be better than? Oh, you think you better than? Well, another reason is this energy. Hearing this is more fun to do what I said, which is X, Y, Z. So, not doing what you want to do, and not hearing what you're saying right now, I'd rather do that. Do you have another reason you want to give me that I can tell you that would be better? I mean, that would the reason what I'm doing over here. Like, you can keep feeding me all these reasons to go do something else that's better than listening into you or whatever. No hate, no shade. I'm just being honest. And if you're like, oh, you never said this before, that's crazy, huh? Now I'm crazy because I never said this before. Well, let me keep being crazy. So the crazier I get, the more free and more happy I'm gonna be. So let me go all the way insane, all the way left. You stay all the way right, I'm gonna stay all the way left. Just until you so far sane and I'm so far insane. Let's keep going in that direction. Until they, and it's not disrespectful. You're just keeping your peace because not everybody's for you. You're separating yourself not because you're better, but because that time may have passed, or you might be realizing they weren't for you, they weren't serving you the way that you wanted to be served. And when I say served, it's not like they're your servant. So don't get it twisted. If people are like, serving, I'm nobody. You're already hating energy, negative energy. Y'all low vibration. Y'all got to be up here. Like, don't be a surface level hearer, listener when I'm speaking. This is not for, hey, this is what you have to do to have a good life. This is what you have to do. If you think life is that easy, I don't want to be disrespectful. I was about to be disrespectful. Let's stay on topic. So surface level, like when I say serve you, things to serve you. When you want to have a good day, if things that are serving you are bringing you joy to continue your good day, or to start off your good day, or end your good day, or fill your good day with more goodness and greatness and happiness and, pleasure and positivity, that could be anything. Exercising, listening to music. It doesn't have to be the most appropriate music. It doesn't have to be the most perfect exercise. You don't have to be in the gym for 12 hours. You could be in the gym for 15, 20, 30 minutes. What's for you is for you. Because if you're in the gym for 5 minutes, just walking in and walking out to get used to the layout, you could start super baby steps. You got to crawl before you can walk, before you can run, before you can fly, jump, all that. You could just go to the gym in the parking lot. Be like, okay, I drove in the parking lot. You could do that every day for a week. And then the next week, do it every day. You go in, I'm at the parking lot, now I'm going to go in the gym, walk around the gym, and come out. Do that every day for a week. And then the third week, you sign up and do a membership, and now you do an exercise once a day. You can crawl before you stand up and walk, before you start to run and pick up the pace, before you start to jump, before you start to fly, before you start to go supersonic, light speed, whatever. You have to start somewhere. If people want to make fun of you because you're like, oh, I've never drawn before, but I've always thought it'd be cool. Man, let me see your drawing. Like, be afraid of not trying and people people really don't matter if they're also not doing what you're doing. If nobody in the world, for example, is talking about God, that's a problem. If you really want to talk about God, but you're following everybody else. If nobody in the world loves music, but you love to sing, you love to dance, you love to write, that's a problem if you're not doing. Because that means everybody else in the world is not for you. God's for you, but everybody else in the world is for you. That could be another test. And even though I hate tests, and hate's a strong word, but it's the most accurate right now, because I hate a lot of things. I'm very non-neutral. I hate tests. It stresses me out, but life could be a test. And even though you have more stressful moments for some people and less stressful moments for other people, it's all for your good. Everything happens for your good. So that's why I say serves you. So if a person or a thing or a situation is testing you, don't get frustrated. Think about, man, this is really either stressful or this is going on longer than I thought. Focus on that moment. Be like, man, you could think about a lot of things. Even if you don't have time to think, just be like, man, it could get worse from here. It could get better from here. Have I ever been in a situation like this before that I can learn and be like, hey, this actually kind of seems like this. Last time I did this way, let's try to do it this way. Or the last time it worked, let's do it again. Because when you fail, you learn from it. You got to take an L either way. You're either taking a lesson from it or you're loving it. You got to love the awesome win or love to learn it about the loss. Like you are taking the L either way. Like two L's, the W, like you continue to win when you're with God. So everything and everyone, try to discern, have good judgment and discern and view every situation with a person as like, okay, this is a test. You're a new person or you're the same person. I've known you for a while or I barely know you. As, okay, what can I learn from this? And you don't have to do it as like analytical, as like read them in like a book or whatever. But if you're really good at conversation and communication, try to do that more often everywhere. If you're like, man, you keep talking more and more and more, you're going to learn more and more because you could fail at 95% of the conversations that you have. But those 5% that you're succeeding, focus on what's working. And all the other ones, focus on what was different, like the 95%. Like, why did those not work, but these 5% work? Same with everyone around you. You might be able to pick up on their energies and be like, oh, I like these 5% energies, love them. But these 95%, I don't know why, like it's something off. Like picking, like the things that you were created for to notice and do, focus on those heavily. What are you drawn to? Like, are you drawn to more people that are like this? Are you drawn to more people like that? Are you drawn to more people like this? More people like that? And really dive into studying. Like you can Google's your friend, research about what you're into, the people that are also into it, the communities. There's forums and stuff, YouTubers into it. Really dive in because you can do a lot of things with your potential, your creative skills, your creative talents. And especially now in today's age, like talent meets time. And y'all were born at this time, whatever age. If you're 70 or 7, well, hopefully not 7. You can't really listen to my swearing at 7. But like at this point in time, you're able to put things on the internet to help you connect with other people, that they can connect with other people to the point where a year from now, you could be living a totally different life, way happier, surrounded by either some of the same people or a completely new roster of blessings. Everything happens for a reason. Everybody is a blessing. Even the devil is not a mistake. God made the devil. I don't love the devil. I hate anything that's not for God. If you're not praising his name, if you're not for God, if you're not, about the positive energy and realizing that there's something greater than you that is God, if you're not for that, I'm not for you. And it's different levels of hate, but I hate it altogether. If you're like, I'm not talking about people that like haven't discovered God yet because they're just in their that season in their life. I'm talking about people that know about God and they choose to reject him. Those people, I can get super disrespectful. It is my channel, but I'm trying to keep it focused on everyone that is not for you. Those people are not for you if you're trying to better yourself. Those people have their own place and it's not going to be with you at the table. Let me put it that way. You're at the table and you're trying to stay at the table with God. Because once you allow God to be in your life and you're aligned with God, like you're praying every day, you're being obedient, he values obedience more than being right. This hater says, oh, I'm right, or being righteous. Well, I did this today. I did my good deed. Apple a day, keep the doctor away. Like, being obedient to God, showing up in whatever stage of progress you are, he values that. He's pleased with that more than anything, because you're showing up regardless of whether you want to or not. He knows you're being obedient to him. He knows you're praying on both knees. He knows you're showing up and helping the people that he wants you to help. And again, not everyone's for you. Not even the people that you're helping now. They might not be there later on in life. They could be relocated, transferred to another job, fall out as friends. Maybe you have an argument or whatever. Everything happens for a reason, though. You have to recognize that those are seasons and learn from them, so then when you're in the next season and the next season, it's like a video game. You start off on level 1, but then when you're on level 112, you're like, whoa, level 70 prepared me for this. Level 8 prepared me for this. Level 12 prepared me for this. Like, you're looking back and be like, yo, God was really preparing me throughout life. Like, this is a moment. I got to recognize it. And hopefully you can continue to recognize those moments more and more in the future, because you will see how far God has brought you, and you will have good discernment and good judgment. Be like, I'm glad I left those people sooner than later. Or, man, I wish I had left those people sooner than later, because I found out X, Y, Z was going on. God hears conversations you don't hear. And God knows things that you don't know. His thoughts are not our thoughts. His thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So even though you might feel like you have a chaotic life, if it went any other way, it wouldn't be God's way. God's always on time. We don't make up our own plans. So if you wanted what happened 6 years ago to happen, you know, in a day, it doesn't happen that way. So you can't and shouldn't complain about God's timing just because you want it. If God gave it to you when you wanted it, you could fumble it and it could be way worse because you wanted it early. You may feel like you need it now, but if it's not for you right now, are you going to be mad? If you're baking a cake right now and you want it now, but you just put it in the oven, you could be upset. You could be like, man, well, that's a 30-minute cake. 6 years is 6 years. It's the same thing, bro. Time is time. A second or a year. You still have to wait that second. You still have to wait that year if it's not for you. You have to. And that's that isolation. And when God allows you to wait and let whatever marinate, whatever happened, take its course, and you're sitting there processing it, and you're just processing. By the end of that second, by the end of that year, you will know, oh man, looking back, man, if that had happened earlier, I don't know how I would have, I don't know how I would have dealt. I don't know how she would have, I don't know how he would have reacted. Everything happens for a reason. God makes zero mistakes. So try to understand that everybody is not for you, and make sure that when you are living your life and you're like, man, I really get a feeling, even if you don't have good judgment on people, focus on their actions. I can say that because I didn't always have good judgment on people. Focus on their actions. Focus on what they say. If something's bothering you and you're too scared to address it with them, cut them off, because they're going to try to fight back in your life and be like, oh, something is not right because I pulled back and they want it and I really didn't want it. Or don't be scared, like I say, and address it. Conflict is conflict, bro. Like, not everybody can be friends with everybody. Honestly, this is a rhetorical question for me, because the answer is yes, it would. But wouldn't it suck if everyone in the world was friends? Like, they didn't love each other, they didn't hate each other, just liked each other. Cordial, respectful, just at a surface, low vibrational level. Like, oh, that person's cool. Yeah. I think I talked to them. How's the weather? Yeah. Just fake is what that sounds like. That sounds like a corporate office. Like, I don't want to fart in the middle of the day because someone might say something. I've worked at jobs and I fart all day long. No one says anything. They might think, man, this smells bad. This person, blah, blah, I think he farted. But they're not saying a thing. And I'm not saying that to brag in any way. It's just calling a spade a spade. If you don't like something, you either remove yourself or you do something about it. They could verbally say, "Hey man, every time I come down this aisle, you farting. All right, man, my bad." I wouldn't say that, but we're having a conversation, and that's real. It's not fake. It's not surface level. That's a real conversation. It's not, "Hey, the weather's crazy." All right, yeah, the weather's either sunny, shiny. Like the weather's always changing. What do you mean the weather? That's surface. But if you're talking about, man, I'm really passionate about X, Y, Z. I can't. Oh, okay, I didn't know that about you. That's interesting. What makes you passionate? Like that makes me want to ask questions because you clearly you came for a reason. You didn't come for just to talk about the weather, just to make conversation. Because if you did, then I don't want to be a part of your life. I don't want to be a part of this conversation because I don't care about that. But if you truly care about something, if you truly care about the weather, like, man, I want to be a weatherman. I've been doing this. That's a whole different conversation. I will then ask you questions about the weather. Okay, so where's the how does this happen? Why would you about the weather? Clouds, cumulus, stratus cloud. Like then I will see how seriously serious you are about your passion. But if you're not passionate about something, it's a surface level conversation. It's a mirror that has no depth. You're just looking at the reflection with you can't, well, like the matrix, you can't go through it. Like I want to talk and have experiences with depth. Any boring surface level low vibration is not for me. It does not serve me. I know this video is getting long, but I'll end it with the serve. If it's serving you, it benefits you. It's a what do you call it? Constructive experience, a constructive conversation where both parties leave with something positive in the experience. So something that can serve you is if you're learning how to be a cook and you go to a cooking class that serves you. If no one's belittling, like, man, that's horrible. If they're not, disrespecting you in any way, that's serving you. If they're helping you progress in your passions and your field of expertise, say you want to go to culinary school, if you're taste testing foods, you're going to, the cities and they have like a Chicago taste test or whatever. All those things can serve you. If it's not serving you in a positive way, why would you waste that buffering period, that loading period? Like it's there's patience and then there is wasting your time. Everything is not patience and everything is not wasting your time. You have to discern and judge which one is patience, which is good for you. They say patience is a virtue, and wasting your time. Do you think wasting your time to do anything is a good thing? And I'm not talking about the isolation period where God is isolating you to get closer with him or whatever. That's important. That's patience, that's obedience, that's loving God, that's getting to know God. Wasting time is shit. SHIT. No sweet sugar, honey icing, none of that. It's just doo doo. Dog, cat, scat, uh, all the bad stuff that you would not want. It's the excess that you do not want. You just want to trim the fat and keep what is good. Like a teacher who is not long-winded when explaining explanations, because I'm clearly long-winded in explaining explanations. When they are explaining things, this is going to be on the test, X, Y, Z, and they explain X, Y, Z. But if they're explaining the whole alphabet and only X, Y, Z is going to be on the test, the 23 other letters is the excess. That's wasting your time. And now you thought everything was important, so you highlight all 50 pages in the book that they just went over, but you only needed those 3 pages or those 6 pages or those 8 pages. Like, that's a bad teacher. The excess of wasting your time. How did they get this degree? Now you're questioning them because, not because you failed the test, but because they gave you so much that you did not need. None of it was all like it. It has to line up and add up. Okay? Like first comes love, then comes marriage, then comes the baby and the baby carriage. You don't have to explain, well, first this person gets born, they have to learn how to ride a bike, blah 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 blah. Then you get to love, then this, then you get to marriage, then this, and then the baby and then the no 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 no. Love, marriage, baby care. Like keep it simple, stupid. I'll end on that.